Yes, as we round up Black History Month 2020, you know who it is. It's your girl, DJ Professor MC Eva Marie King. To all of my homeboys and homegirls from the old neighborhood, y'all know me as MC Juicy E, going back to like 1976, 1977. Just showing love and continuing to document our history in SouthSide Jamaica, Queens, going back to the early days of what you now call hip-hop, what we didn't call hip-hop back in the day. You know, I gotta give a shout out to the Universal Hip Hop Museum, but in Southside Jamaica, Queens, it was different. We used a lot of the same instruments, but the culture was different. And the DJing and the MCing styles were different. And as a historian, I just can't let us move into our 50s and 60s and not have us document our history in Southside Jamaica, Queens. We had girl MCs back in 75, 76. Yes, we did. And though I know internationally it said that the Bronx created hip-hop, we didn't call it hip-hop, but we were MCing and DJing. We had B-boys and B-girls. We were doing all of that. So you can never take anything away from what went on in the Bronx, but you can't take anything away from what went on in Southside Jamaica, Queens. We are the first Black middle class in New York City. There was never a Black movement that took place that didn't touch South Jamaica, Queens, be it the Black Panthers, be it the Nation of Gods and Earths, be it Sunni Islam, being the Nation of Islam, the Black Church, all of that. It always went down in Southside Jamaica, Queens. So I'm just saying to all of my pioneers and legends in Southside Jamaica, Queens, I'm going to keep representing. I'm going to keep documenting and talking about it. We're going to make more films and books. And let's leave the documented truth of what we did at Fantasia, what we did at the Jamaica Armory, what we did at the Democratic Club on Guy Brewer and Foch, what we did in all of the parks all over Jamaica, Queens, all over Queens for that matter, and just show love to DJ Mr. Nice, a.k.a. Waylon Gilliam, DJ CC, a.k.a. Kevin L. Matt, to MC Wild D, R.I.P., to MC D-Rock. A lot of names that many of you in Southside Jamaica, Queens never heard of. Because when we were preteens and teenagers, we stayed in our own parks. We had our own house parties. We might venture out and go to Manhattan and the Bronx and different parts of Queens. But for the most part, when we were jamming, we stayed in our own parks. But now that we are mature, we're getting to know people from our own town that we never knew. So shout out to Jamaica Sounds Power Crew, to the one and only legendary DJ Chili D, to all of the people in Jamaica Sounds, as we call them, to Phase 3, to Phase 3 Enterprises, to the women that were with Phase 3, to DJ Casino, who gave an interview to Troy L. Smith and told him, yeah, we had girls in our crew and they were rhyming. Like, if you don't know a part of the history, DJ Casino of Supreme Sounds, who was also at one time down with Infinity Machine, he gave an interview to Troy L. Smith. And it was a detailed interview where he talked about girls that were MCing. So, you know, you had your park jam DJs, you had your house party DJs, and, you know, it evolved into hip-hop DJs, but the full history hasn't been written. So keep writing, y'all. Keep telling the truth. And we're not dissing nobody from no other borough. Everyone in New York City knows how it went down in the 60s and 70s, that it came up all over the city. Every DJ I spoke to was like, you know, yeah, a lot of the DJs in the Bronx were doing the breakbeat DJing, but we were doing that in Queens too. When I was 9 years old in St. Albans Park, the baseball field, we used to be out there till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Lord knows I ain't had no business being out there. But that was a regular thing, you know, with the older brothers and sisters from the neighborhood. We'd all be out there. Cypher Sounds would be playing break beats, having the label of the record blacked out with magic markers because us as kids wanted to know what the break beats were so we could start our own crew. But that's just how it was. It's a part of Black history for us in Southside Jamaica, Queens. Once again, New York City, reporting live from the first Black middle class in New York City. We were there. So you go back and you look at some of your flyers, and you'll see artists from the South Bronx on the flyers and artists from Southside Jamaica, Queens on those flyers too. We did exist. So Universal Hip Hop Museum, I just gotta tell y'all, like, we were there. That's just the way it was. You can't change history. I was rhyming behind Baisley Park houses, what we call basic projects. In 1977, battling against crews with my homeboys, DJ Mike D, also known as Mike Strong, DJ CC, and DJ Mr. Nice, who I mentioned earlier. And our whole crew was there. And you can't rewrite history. And I'm not a revisionist of history. And we still come out now with some of the brothers that still bring equipment out to DJ Amazing DeWitt from across the park, Team Amazing, Southside All-Stars. We're still doing it. It's a rich history of artistry that will forever live on, and we'll keep teaching it and writing books and films, and I'll keep teaching it in the schools. But the truth is the truth, and that's just what it is. The true history of Southside Jamaica, Queens. Phase 3 Enterprise sisters, y'all women, stand up. I can't wait to talk to y'all and meet y'all real soon. Southside, we outside. Queens get the money. From Van Wyck to Linden to Merrick side, I rep Southside and we outside. It's Black History Month 2021, y'all. Stand up.